Okay, Hare Krishna. So sorry for some technical glitch. Suddenly my speaker was not functioning. Can you say something that I can hear? Am I audible?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
All right, it's working. I got so worried. I was thinking, what has gone wrong? Okay, speaker sound, right, volume. Okay, you can hear me, eh? Right, I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So anyway, so sorry for the delay. So we meet again to discuss on this Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion. Then we are coming to the new chapter. It's going to be a very interesting chapter. Okay, so today we're going to do chapter 44, Devotional Service in Conjugal Love. Before that, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapidam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sujivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shvishakan Vidam Cha नमो ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिनी नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चाचर्य स्तरिणी नमो ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने श्री वर्षभना विदविदयितये कृपादये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योजल प्रेमादे श्री रूपनुग भक्ति श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्ते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्री मूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपनुग विरुद्ध सिद्धांत ध्वांत हरिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्तये विप्रलंबर संबोधे पादं पूजयते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूप रूपनुग वरायते गौरवीर्भव भूमिस्तु निरस सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंच कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च च पतितरां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः ओम महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गरतसे नमः पंचतत्त्वतमकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्ति शक्तिं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते प्राप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनी सुरेशभन स्त्रीविन हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवशरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं हरि ओं तत्सत् नमो विष्णुपदे कृष्णपुत्तरी श्रीमती जय पताक स्वामी तिराम नामाचार्य पदा नित्य कृपा प्रदाय गौरकत दामदाय नवरत्रि ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्णा dear devotees. So today we're going to start an exciting topic here, 44 devotional service in conjugal love. All right, and of course now we are coming to the fifth wave of Nectar of Southern Ocean. Fifth wave, Madhura Bhakti Rasakya Panchama Lahari Atmochitair Vibhavadyai Pushtim Nita Satam Hirdi Madhurakya Bhavit Bhakti Rasos Shav Madhura Ratihi. Okay, here we're going to talk about a pure devotee attraction to Krishna in conjugal love is called devotional service in conjugal love. All right, although such conjugal feeling are not at all material, okay, it's not material. These are some similarity between the spiritual love and material activities. Therefore, person who are interested only in material activities are unable to understand the spiritual conjugal love, right? So what is that requirement here saying that if a person who is not, who cannot come out from this, what they call, if the person who are still interested only in material activities, they won't be able to understand this very confidential topic on spiritual conjugal love. And these devotional reciprocation appear very mysterious to them. Okay, they feel very mysterious. So Rupa Goswami therefore described conjugal love very briefly. That's why he's not elaborating very much. He's going to speak it on very brief. Tatra alambana. Asmin alambana Krishna. Priyastasyatu subruva. The impetuses of conjugal love are Krishna and his very dear consorts, such as Radharani and her immediate associate. Radharani and her associates. Lord Krishna has no rival. No one is equal to him, and no one is greater than him. His beauty is also without any rival. Because he excels all other in pastime of conjugal love, he is the original object of all conjugal love. Tatra Krishna asamanordva saundarya leela vaidagya sampadam ashrayatvena madure harir alambano mataha. Yata Sri Gita Govinde, or going to quote from Sri Gita Govinda. Vishvesham Anuranjanena Janayanandam Indivara Shreni Shamala Komale Upanayanangair Anangotsavam Swachandam Vraja Sundari Bir Abita Pratyangam Alingita Shringara Saki Murtiman Iva Madamukdo Hari Kritadi. So here he's explaining about all the angas, all right, all the body. In Gita Govinda, okay, is by Jayadev Goswami. If you all very lucky, if blessed, if one day if you could read Gita Govinda, it's going to be very, very blessed. All right, it's of something which is not encouraged by a person who are still materially affected or material thinking. All right. So anyway, I don't want to go into that detail. So, okay, Gita Govinda by Jayadev Goswami. There, one gopi tells a friend, she says, Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure within this universe. He's a what? He's the reservoir. He's the reservoir of all pleasure within this universe. So what is that? Vivesha Anuranjana Janayam Ananda. Okay, Anandam Indrivara. All right. So reservoir of all pleasure means what? In other words, reservoir of all pleasure, it is also known as Abhirama. Abhiram. Okay, Abhiram. So when we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, okay, when we say Hare Rama, so which Rama we are referring to? Okay, we are referring to, of course, Krishna is omnipotent, omniscient. Rama also can call Balarama, can be understood as Ramachandra, can understood any all. There's no harm. Maybe they say, like Sri Vaishnava says, okay, they are calling Krishna and Rama. That's why they prefer to chant Rama's name in front. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he said, no, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. All right, yesterday in Bhagavad Gita class, we discussed about this. All right, Prabhupada's purport on the chanting of the Mahamantra. Hare means what? Or Hara, the internal potency of Krishna, which is the Ladini Shakti. It's the Ladini Shakti. All right, and that Ladini Shakti wants to engage us in Krishna, who is the most attractive. He's so attractive, all right, that no one can rival to him, right? That he has no rival, right? No one is equal, no one is greater, and his beauty is unbelievable, all right? Beauty is without any rival, and he excels others, all right? He excels others. So in other words, when you look at Krishna's beauty, it is something which is so wonderful, so advanced, so great. All right, that is, and everybody simply attracts to Krishna. Okay, everyone are simply attracted to Krishna because Krishna is the reservoir. Okay, who is not attracted to Krishna? Okay, now we are studying this Nectar of Devotion quite in detail. So when you really look at it, the question is, who is not attracted to Krishna? Everyone. All right, everyone is so attracted to Krishna. Even the trees were attracted to Krishna. We studied that before in a Nectar of Devotion. Even the trees will be lamenting. Why? He's not even stepping on my shadow. Radharani is attracted, of course. And all the gopis were attracted to him. All the Gopals is attracted to him. The Braj, the residents of Raja, all attracted to him. When he couldn't tell him, please don't worship Indra anymore. Let's worship Govardhan. And they were so attracted, they say, yes, he's all attractive. Right? So that attractiveness is the one that make every living entity go to him and become so much merged. Right? So when we look at our what they call like there's one story where the young daughter-in-law were told not to come out because one black snake is coming. If the black snake strike you, you go crazy, right? And she will just see from the small distance and just open a window and just look. And Krishna went and just give a small glass. That's it. She has gone mad. We want that kind of attraction. That attraction is so powerful that even they don't even recognize Krishna as God. In Goloka Vrindavan, when Vidura went and told Mother Yasoda, your son is all truth, she started to laugh. Your son is all power, and she started to wonder, how can that be? Because the people in Goloka Vrindavan, in that Braj, no one can recognize Krishna as God. Because they are beyond any conclusion. They are just simply attracted. And we want that kind of attraction. That's why we say Hare Krishna. Krishna is all attractive. We want that kind of attraction that I become stunned. I become morose. I become speechless. I feel my heart is not beating. I feel my head is spinning. I feel fainting. Attraction. Okay. And second, Hare Rama. Rama means what? Abhiram. He is all pleasure. Right? Not only Krishna attracts you with his transcendental beauty, but at the same time, he gives you all the pleasure. Why are we stuck in this material world? Because we start to identify the wrong form of pleasure. We are here thinking the pleasure of this matter, it is nice. Just like a child taking a lot of pleasure playing a toy cooking set. Right? You buy for them a toy cooking set, or you buy for them a toy, what they call shovel, go and make them do gardening. It's a toy. But the child is so attractive, and for the child, it is so real experience. Yes, I've got a toy, I got a shovel, I'm going to plant tree. Oh, I got a gun, I'm going to shoot the Batman, bad people, right? Like that, we are here, we are attracted to the matter. That means we are somehow or other attracted to the toy. We are just too childish, if you really look at it. We are attracted to something which is going to perish one day. Expiry. Everything in this world comes with expiry date. Nothing is permanent. Right? Because we have extended our pleasure on a wrong angle. The real pleasure is the what that when you start to worship Krishna, you get lots of pleasure. Even outwardly, a person may look like a normal person. Maybe the person can look like a poverty-stricken or frustrated, but internally the person, he's in transcendental bliss, he's in great pleasure. Okay, so like that. So what it says in Gita Govinda, all right, Gita Govinda, Jaydev Goswami told in there, what happened? The Gopi tells the friend, he said, Krishna is the reservoir. What reservoir means? He got a huge reserve of pleasure. He has a huge reserve of pleasure. Okay, within this universe. Okay. His body is soft as the lotus flower. And his free behavior with the gopis. Okay, his free behavior with the gopis, which appears exactly like a young boy's attraction to a young girl. Because he was only 15 years old. Please mind it. Yesterday we discussed that. All right. Kumara, Kaumara, Paugunda, Kaishora. Kaishora means until 15. So as a young boy, okay, as a young boy, and he's so young boy's attraction to a young girl. All right. And he's a subject of matter of transcendental conjugal love. It's a subject matter of a transcendental conjugal love. Atatasya prayasya nava nava varama duri durina pranaya taranga karambitan taranga nijaram rijaramanataya haring bhajanti pranamatata paramadbhuta kishorihi. Right? So what is this? Nava nava vara maduri durina pranaya taranga karambitangaraha nija ramana. All right? Okay. Harim bhajanti pranamanta paramadhi kishorihi. A pure devotee follow in the footsteps of the gopis and worship the gopis as follows. A pure devotee follow the footsteps of the gopi and worship the gopi as follows. So the pure devotee follow the footstep. The first point that we note. First, they are follows in the footstep. Okay? In the footstep of what? The example of gopis. And you know what they do? They worship the gopis as follows. What they worship the goat follows? He said, let me offer my respectful obeisances to all the young cowherd girls whose bodily features are so attractive. Simply by beautiful, attractive feature, they are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Ramana, right? Because Nija Ramana. So because of their so beautiful, so that means you are worshipping the Lord through their beauty. All right. Out of all the young gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most prominent. Okay. Madana Chakita Chakori Charuta Chora Drishtir Vadanada Mitarako Rohini Kanta Kirti Avikala Kala Dauto Dutu To Dauto Duti Daurekaya Daureyakta Shri Madhurima Madhupatri Rajate Pasya Radha. So what he says here, all right? The beauty of Srimati Radharani is described as follows. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is also from Gita Govind. I remember reading Madi Chakita Chakori. Yes. Mada Chakita Chakori Charuta Chora Drishtir Vadana Damita Raka Rohini Kanta Kirtihi Avikala Kala Dauto Duti Daure Yakas Srir Madhurima Madhupatri Rajate Pasya Radha. Anyway, I remember reading it somewhere. Anyway, so now it says how the beauty of Radharani described. Her eyes defeat the attractive feature of the eyes of the Chakori bird. Yes, I think that's the place. Her eyes even can defeat the eyes of Chakori bird. I don't know how the Chakori bird looks like, but I believe it should be very beautiful. When one sees the face of Radharani, he immediately hates the beauty of the moon. When he starts to see the face of Radharani, he immediately hates the beauty of the moon. Now you look at the moon, you start to feel even the moon is not so attractive. Her bodily complexion, the color, defeats the beauty of gold. All right? It also defeats the beauty. That means the bodily complexion, the body color, even defeat the beauty of gold. Thus, let us all look upon the transcendental beauty of Srimati Radharani. Krishna's attraction for Radharani is described by Krishna himself. What did he say? Narmuktau mama nirmittoru paramanandot savayang api. Shrotrasyanta tatim api sputam anadayasti dodayan mukhi. Face. Mukhi means face. Radha lagavam apyanadara giram bangibir atanvati. Maitri gauravatopi asau sashatagunam mat pritim eva dade. Gaurava. Gaurava means as gold. When I create some joking phrase in order to enjoy the beauty of Radharani, when I create some joking phrases to enjoy the beauty of Radharani, Radharani hears all these joking words with great attention. but by her bodily feature and counterword she neglects me. And I even possess unlimited pleasure by her neglect of me. Imagine the boyfriend is telling the girlfriend, she listening very carefully and then make don't know. Neglect. So Krishna says, even that neglect gives me unlimited pleasure, for she becomes beautiful that she increase my pleasure 100 times. Wow. Krishna's pleasure is in fact is uncountable. And now the pleasure increases 100 times is even unbelievable, right? A similar statement was found in Gita Govinda, wherein it is said that when the enemy of Kamsa, Sri Krishna, embraces Srimati Radharani, he immediately becomes entangled in loving condition and he gives up the company of all other gopis. When you go and embrace, when you go to hug Srimati Radharani, everything in the world he'll forget. All right. In Padyavali of Rupa Goswami, it is stated that when the gopis hear the sound of Krishna's flute, okay, they immediately forget all rebukes offered to the elderly members of their families. They forget their defamation or the harsh behavior of the husband. The husband can call them what the harsh, even they forget that. Their only thought is to go out and search for Krishna. Guru Jana Ganjanam Ayaso Grahapati Charitam Cha Darunam Kim Api Vimsharayati Samastam Shiva Shiva Murali Murarate. What flute is this? What flute is this now? Which flute that all the gopis will run after Krishna? What is the name of the flute? Anybody home?
Muraliya, Prabhu.
Yes, the word Murali is here. Murali. Okay, the flute Murali. We still remember, right? The first flute, what we call? Venu. The Venu flute only to call all the living and all the cows, the play with the friends, or call the birds and all this. Murali is to call the gopis and everyone. Then the last one is Vangsi. Vangsi is for during the Rasa Leela dance. All right. Okay. Anyway. Now, when the gopis meet Krishna, the display of the exchanging glance as well as their joking and laughing behavior is called Anubhava or sub-ecstasy in conjugal love. So when the gopis come to meet Krishna, they display the exchanging glance. Side look, ora kannala paakradhu. As their joking and laughter behavior is called Anubhava. Now, in Lalita Madhava, it says, Rupa Goswami explained that movement of Krishna's eyebrow are just like Yamuna, and that is the smiling of Radharani is just like a moonshine. Right? That the movement of the Krishna's eyebrow, movement of Krishna's eyebrow just like Yamuna. And the smiling of Radharani is just like a moonshine. When the Yamuna and the moonshine come in contact on the bank of the river, the water tastes just like nectar. And drinking it gives great satisfaction. It is as cooling as the piles of snow. Krishna Pangatarangita Dyumanija Sambeda Veni Kritte Radhaya Smita Chandrika Suraduni Pure Nipiyamritam Antastosha Tushara Samplava Lava Vyali Datta Potgama Krantva Sapta Jaganti Samprati Vayam Sarvordavam Hadyasmahe. So the eyebrow of Krishna is just like the Yamuna. The Yamuna when it flows, it has a curve. That's how the eyebrow looks. Krishna's eyebrow looks like Yamuna. And Radharani's smile is just like the moon. So when take the Yamuna and put the Yamuna river and put the moon there. Imagine at the full moon night, the moon is rising. And upon the rise, you see from here, the Yamuna start to have showing the light. It's like, the light is start emanating. Right? So the moon and the light, the moon and the Yamuna, when they look combined, they look so beautiful. And that moment, When you drink the water of Yamuna, the water tastes like nectar. And drinking that water gives great satisfaction. It is just like a cooling as piles of snow. So cooling, just as though it's like so cold, like snow. Right? Of course, there's a lot of meanings behind, but anyway, we don't discuss that. Similarly, in Padyavali, one constant companion, Radharani says, who the constant companion? Ata satvika yata padyavalyam. Kamam vapu pulakitam. Nayane dhritashre. Vachasa gad gada pada saki kampi vakshaha. Nyatam mukunda murali. Rava madurite. Cheta sudangshu vadane. Tarali karoti. And they say, my dear moon-faced Radharani, your whole body appears very content, yet there are signs of tears in your eyes. Your speech is faltering. Gugu, tadumatram, pechila tadumatram, faltering. And your chest is also having, heaving. That means your chest is like becoming heaving. But all these signs I can understand that you must have heard the blowing of Krishna's flute. And as a result of these, your heart is now melting. Right? What flute is this again? What flute is this? Nandari Mataji, Sadguna Mataji, Sakima. What flute is this? What flute that Radharani heard until she started to melt?
Itu provocar Vamsi.
Are you sure? You must have heard. The word is here. Morally, yes. Even the verse also says, right? Sudanti Vadani, okay? Jita Mukunda Murali. Okay? So now we start to understand Murali. All right. Then after that, in that same Padyavali, there is a following description which was taken as a sign of frustration in conjugal love. Srimati Radharani said, Dear Mr. Cupid, please do not excite me by throwing your arrows at my body. Dear Mr. Air, please do not arouse me with the fragrance of flowers. I am now bereft of Krishna's loving attitude. And so, under the circumstances, what is the use of my sustaining of this useless body? There is no need for such body by any living entity. This is a sign of frustration in ecstatic love for Krishna. Okay, now we're going to see all the emotional, right? What is telling? What is the point, Mr. Cupid? You throw the arrow. Huh? I become aroused. But Krishna is not there. And you, Mr. Air, Wind. You, Mr. Wind, look here. Don't bring the fragrance. What's the point? So she's in frustration. Then similarly, in Dana Keli Kaumudi. Dana Keli Kaumudi. Okay, Srimati Radharani pointing to Krishna says, all right, pointing to Krishna and says, this clever boy of the forest has many beautiful and bluish lotus flower. He can attract all the young girls of the universe. Now, after giving me the taste of his transcendental body, he has enthused me, and it's more than I can tolerate. I am now feeling like a female elephant who have been enthused by the male elephant. Enthused means what? Aroused. All right? This is an instance of jubilation in ecstatic love. You know? I mean, how can I use the word enthused? What should I say it? And thus also can say to feel excited, inspired, or full of eager about something. That means very happy and motivated. Excited, inspired, eager, encouraged, and energized. So what happened? Now what Krishna says, he can attract the young girls, but after giving me the taste of his transcendental body, right? He's in great ecstasy. Anyway, the steady ecstasy of conjugal love is the original cause of bodily enjoyment. In Padyavali, in the original cause of union is described when Radharani tells. The original cause of union described as Radharani tells of a constant companion. He said, my dear friend, who is this boy whose eyelids, dancing constantly, have increased the beauty of his face and attracted my desire for conjugal love? His ears are decorated with buds of Ashoka flower. He has dressed himself in yellow robes. By the sound of his flute, the boy has already made me impatient. Right? So, now what flute is this now? Anyone?
சரி பிரபு வம்சி பிரபு எனக்கு conjugal love பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
Yes, Vamsi. All right. Mang Vamsi Ravena Sakimam Ava Sikorati. Vamsi. Right. See, now we are going very deep. Now we are understanding different mood of Krishna. What are the things that he's having? Radha Madhavayoreva Kwapi Bhave Kadapyaso Sajatiya Vijatiyair Naiva Vichityate Ratihi. The conjugal love of Radha Krishna is never disturbed by any personal consideration. Ito dure Rajni Spurati Parito Mitra Patali Drishoragre Chandravalir Upari Shailasya Danuja Asavye Radhayaha Kushumita Lata Samvritta Tanaudrik Anta Shri Lola Tadit Iva Mukundasya Valate. To undisturbed nature of the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna is described thus. Just little distance away from Krishna was Mother Yasoda. And Krishna was surrounded by all his friends. In front of his eyes were Chandravali. At the same time, on the chunk of the stone in front of the entrance of Vraja stood a demon known as Vrshashura. But even in such circumstances, right? So what happened? Now the situation, a little distant from Krishna was Mother Yashoda was beside. And Krishna was surrounded by his friends. All right? In front of his eyes was Chandravali. All right? Radharani's opposite. And at the same time was a chunk of stone. Okay? In front of the entrance. Entrance to Vraja stood the demon Vrtashura. There's a demon also was there. But even in such circumstances, even in that situation surrounded by so many, when Krishna saw Radharani standing just behind the bush of many creepers, she was sitting and hiding and looking. He immediately, his beautiful eyebrows moved just like a lightning towards her. Can you all be sure that? Gora Kandita Sankachudam Ajiram Runde Shiva Tamasi Brahmista Swasana Samastuti Kata Praleyam Ashinchati Agre Ramaha Sudaruchir Vijayate Krishna Pramodochitam Radayas Tat Api Prapullam Abajan Mlanim Na Bhavambujam. Another instance is described as follows. On one side of the courtyard of the dead body of Shankashura was lying. Okay? On the side of the courtyard, a dead body of Shankashura was lying, surrounded by many jackals. That means, jackals, okay? They eat this thing. On the other side were many learned brahmanas who were all self-controlled. They were offering nice prayers, which are soothing as the cool breeze in summer. In front of Krishna, Lord Baladev was standing, causing a cooling effect. But even amid all these different circumstances of soothing and disturbing effects like the dead body, the lotus flower ecstatic conjugal love of Krishna felt by Radharani could not wither. That means the thing could not go off. The love of Krishna for Radharani is often compared to a blooming lotus. The only difference is that Krishna's love remained ever increasingly beautiful. He go on and go on and go on, increasing his beauty, and his love remains increasing. All right. So now it's 10:06. Now it's going to be talk about Vipralamba Sambhoga, which is going to be very important. Let's take a short break. All right. We take a 2 minutes break, then we continue. All right. Hare Krishna. Just take a short break. Okay, Hare Krishna. Shall we continue? All right. Now let's look at Vipralamba Sambhoga. Conjugal love is divided into two portions. One is Vipralamba, or conjugal love in separation, and Sambhoga, conjugal love in direct contact. Okay. Tatra Vipralambaha sa purvarago manas cha pravasadi mayastata Vipralambo bahuvido vidvadbir iha katyati. Vipralamba, the separation has three subdivisions. All right, please underline this statement. Vipralamba, or the separation, they got three subdivisions. Okay. Subdivision known as number 1, Purva Raga or preliminary attraction. Okay. Purva Raga, preliminary attraction. Number 2, Mana or seeming anger. Number 3, Pravasa or separation by distance. Okay. Number 1 is what? Purva Raga. Number 2 is Mana. Number 3 is Pravasa. Purva Raga means preliminary attraction. That means the first attraction. Mana, seeming anger. All right, seeming anger. Number 3 is Pravasa, separation by distance. Now, when the lover and the beloved have distinct feeling, they have a distinct feeling and not meeting each other. They have a distinct feeling but not meeting each other. The stage is called Purva Raga or preliminary attraction. Okay, when the lover and beloved, they have a distinct feeling of not meeting each other. Okay, now in Padyavali, Radharani told her companion, she said, my dear friend, I was just going to the bank of Yamuna, and all of a sudden a very nice boy whose complexion is just like a dark blue cloud became visible in front of my eyes. Right? So what he says, I was just going to the bank of Yamuna, and all of a sudden a very nice boy whose complexion is like a dark blue cloud became visible in my eyes. And he glanced over me in a way that I cannot describe. But since this has occurred, I'm sorry that I can no longer engage my mind in the duties of my household affair. Right? So Radharani, she cannot this thing. This is an instance of preliminary attraction for Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10 Canto 53rd chapter verse 2, Krishna told the messenger Brahmana, who has come from Rukmani, he says, my dear Brahmana, just like Rukmani, I cannot sleep at night. Just like Rukmani, I also cannot sleep at night. My mind is always fixed on her. I know that her brother, Rukmi, the brother of Rukmi, Rukmani's brother is Rukmi, is against me. And that due to his persuasion, my marriage with her had been cancelled. This is another instance of preliminary attraction. Okay? That means they just not met, but like falling in love, right? Now, as far as mana or anger is concerned, there are the following incident described in Gita Govinda. When Srimati Radharani saw Krishna enjoying himself with the company of several other gopis. Okay? When Srimati Radharani saw Krishna enjoying himself, okay, dancing in the company of several other gopis, she became a little jealous because of a special prestige was being deemed. Therefore, she immediately left the scene and took shelter of a nice flower bush, where a black drone was humming. Black drones means a bees, right? Bee called drone. Then, hiding herself behind the creeper, she began to express a sorrow to one of her consort. This is an instance of seeming disagreement, all right, in this love. All right, now, an example of pravasa. Okay, the example of pravasa or being out of contact because of the living in distant place is given in Padyavali as follows. Since the auspicious day when Krishna left for Mathura, Srimati Radharani has been pressing her head on one of her hands, and that means she's pressing the head in one of her hands and constantly shedding tears. Her face is always wet now. Therefore, there is no chance for her sleeping even for a moment. When the face becomes wet, the sleeping tendency is immediately removed. So, when Radharani was always weeping for Krishna because of his separation, there was no chance for her getting any sleep for herself. Okay, it's very straightforward. Eh? So, in Prahlad Samhita, Uddhava says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, panic-stricken. Okay, the Supreme Govinda, he became panic-stricken due to being pierced by the arrows of Cupid. He is always thinking of you, the gopis, and he is not even accepting his regular lunch, nor he is getting any proper rest. When the lover and beloved come together and enjoy one another by direct contact, this stage is called Sambhoga. All right, when they come together and enjoy one another. All right. And there is a statement in Padyavali as follows. Krishna embraced Srimati Radharani in such an expert manner that he appeared to be celebrating the dancing ceremony of a peacock. Wow. Right? Sri Rupa Goswami thus ends the fifth wave of the love of Krishna in devotion. He offers his respectful obeisances. Now, what is okay now? Okay, it's just like dancing of the peacock. Iti Sri Sri Bhakti Rasa Mrita Sindhu Paschimi Vibhage Madhura Kya. Okay. So now, Sri Rupa Goswami ends the fifth wave of his ocean of nectar of devotion. He offers respectful obeisance to Supreme Personality Godhead, who appeared as Gopala, the eternal form of the Lord. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta summary study of the third division, Bhakti Rasa Mrita Sindhu, on the matter of the 5 primary relationship with Krishna. All right. So with this, we have completed the chapter 44 or the Southern Ocean. All right. Now we are coming to the last part of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is that? Uttara Vibhaga. Uttara means what? In Malay, we call Uttara means north. All right. Gauna Bhakti Rasa Nirupaka. Uttara Vibhaga. Okay. Or laughing ecstasy. Now, before we continue this, is there anything that you want to say? Any comments? You there? Hare Krishna. Okay. Am I audible? You all can hear me? Vaishnav Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, you're audible, Prabhu.
But suddenly everybody went quiet. That means, were you all went into ecstasy or what? Anything? Any question? So now we understand Rupa Goswami stopped this part quickly because he doesn't want to elaborate further, because this is something which cannot be perceived for the person who are still materially affected. Those are this thing, because it's a very highest level of this thing. And yeah, certain things they have to keep it in that way. Okay, today we are going to the part 4. Okay, let me explain to you what is in the part 4, Uttara Vibhaga. Part 4. First wave Bhakti Rasa, right? In the part 4, okay, the northern session, page 3 to 5, right? 3 to 5. Mhm. Hmm. Okay, fourth wave. Now, what we're going to study here is Karuna Bhakti Rasa. In the northern section of Bhakti Rasa Mrita Sindhu, the final session, we're going to study on Karuna Rasa. What is outline? We're going to speak about Alambana, I mean Visaya, Krishna, friend, relatives and others. Then Ashraya, friends of Krishna. Then the third topic is first definition, second is Alambana, third is Uddipana. Then number 4, Anubhava, all kind of Anubhava, Satvika Bhava, Vyabhichari Bhava, and Sthai Bhava. Arises only when Krishna intends principal Rati, Shoga Rati, cause lack of awareness of Krishna for lamentation, produce happiness. All right. So this is the, oh, not much, huh? Oh, okay, it's here. Then this is what? Then after that, we go to the northern section. Fifth way. All right. Anyway, let's do this. Now we are coming into the new part, Northern Ocean. We start with laughing ecstasy. Okay. Gauna Bhakti Rasa Nirupaka Uttara Vibhaga. Uttara means, in Malay also we call Uttara. Uttara means north. Right? Hasya Bhakti Rasakya Pratama Lahari. Bhakti Bharena Pritim. Kalayan Nura Rikrita Vraja Sangaha. Tanutam Sanatana Ma Bhagavan Mayi Sarvada Tushtim. Rasa Mrtat Bir Bhagetra Turiye Tutara Bide. Rasa Sapta Vido Gauna Maitri Vaira Stiti Mitaha. So, what is the understanding of this? In the fourth division of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami described 7 kinds of indirect ecstasies of devotional service. How many kinds? Describe 7. Okay, 7 kinds of indirect ecstasy or devotional service. All right. And what are they known? They are known as laughing, astonishment, chivalry, compassion, anger, dread, and ghastliness. Okay, dread and ghastly. In this portion, Srila Rupa Goswami further described these ecstasy of devotional feeling. Some being compatible to others, incompatible with one another. When one kind of ecstatic devotional service overlaps, when one kind of ecstatic devotional service overlaps with another, that means it overlaps, right? In a conflicting way. So one kind of ecstasy overlaps with another in a conflicting way. This state of affair is called rasa basa, or perverted presentation of mellows. Presentation, okay, rasa basa, or perverted presentation of mellows. Okay, now let's come out of this and let's talk about our normal thing. What can you think of? The rasa overlaps in a conflicting way. What you can think of? Suddenly I just feel like this. When a person is crying, at the same time smiling. All right? At the same time smiling. Crying and smiling. Or laughing and same time expressing anger. Ha ha ha, you watch out. Ha ha ha. Or something like overlapping, which is conflicting way. All right. So this is some of the things. Let's look at it. What this thing. All right. Example. So now expert learned scholars say that laughing is generally found among youngsters. Okay, the laughing. You know, when you're young, you all remember you laugh a lot, right? As we get older, we forget how to laugh. So that means this laughing is generally found among the youngsters, or in the combination of old person and young children. Right? When the young children, old people get together, there's a laughter also. This ecstatic loving laughing is sometimes found in a person who are very grave by nature. Even sometimes found in a person very strict, very stern, right? Now, what happened? Once an old mendicant approached the door of Mother Yashoda's house. Krishna told Yashoda, "My dear mother, I don't wish to go near the skinny villain. Calling the sadhu villain. If I go there, he might put me within his begging bag and take me away from you. In this way, the wonderful child Krishna began to look at his mother, while the mendicant who was standing in the door tried to hide his smiling face, although he could not do so. Right? That means a very grave mendicant. Mendicant means very grave, right? So he's standing there. Oh, he couldn't hide his smiling face. Okay, although he could not do so, he immediately expressed his smiling. In this instant, Krishna himself is the object of laughing affairs. Once, one of Krishna's friend informed him, "My dear Krishna, if you will open your mouth, then I shall give you one rice sugar candy, one nice sugar candy mixed with yogurt." Krishna immediately opened his mouth. But instead of giving him sugar candy with yogurt, the friend dropped a flower in his mouth. After tasting this flower, Krishna turned his mouth in a disfigured way. Not disfigured way. And upon seeing this, all his friends standing there began to laugh very loudly. Can you all imagine that? Open your mouth, I'll give you a sugar candy. He opened. Maybe he put one flower on. What is that? Then everybody start laughing. Once a Parmis came to the house of Nanda Maharaj. Who? Parmis. So when we talk about those who read palm, it not only exists now, but even existed around during Krishna's time. And Nanda Maharaj asked him, "My dear sage, will you kindly check the hand of my child Krishna? Tell me how many years he will live and whether he will become a master of thousands of cows." Upon hearing this, the Parmis began to smile. And Nanda Maharaj asked, "My dear sir, why are you laughing? And why are you covering your face?" Because they laugh, they like to cover the face like that. In such laughing ecstasy of love, Krishna or matters pertaining to Krishna are cause of laughter. Right? So that means Krishna and something, matter of Krishna is a cause of laughter. Now, in such laughing devotional service, there are symptoms of, in that laughing na sirikkirathu, vai vittu sirikkirathu, right? There's a symptoms of jubilation, laziness, concealed feeling, and similar other seemingly disturbing elements. And so according to Rupa Goswami calculation, Srila Rupa Goswami's calculation, laughter in ecstatic love can be broken down into 6 divisions. Oh boy, Krishna. Imagine how detailed Srila Rupa Goswami part has gone. Even that ecstatic laughter can be broken into 6. These divisions, according to different degrees of smiling, are called in Sanskrit they are called is Smita, Hasita, Vihasita, Avahasita, Apahasita, and Atihasita. These 6 classes of smiling can be classified as major and minor. Wow. The major division includes Smita, Hasita, and Vihasita. Right? The major division, smiling. And the minor division include Avahasita, Apahasita, and Atihasita. Okay? Now, then, when one is smiling, but his teeth are not visible, like that, one can distinctly mark the definite change of his eyes and cheeks. This is called Smita. Can you imagine? Even in smiling, they did research. That means you smile, but your teeth cannot be seen. Like that. Okay? This is called, and that time, distinct marks are defined. A definite change in the eyes and the cheek. Okay? This is called Smita. Then, so now, when once Krishna was stealing yogurt, Jarati, the head mistress of the house, could detect his activity. She was therefore coming very hurriedly to catch him. At that time, Krishna became very much afraid of Jarati and went to his elder brother Baladev and said, "My dear brother, I have stolen a yogurt. Just see. Jarati is coming hurriedly to catch me." when Krishna was just seeking the shelter of Baladev because he was being chased by Jarati, all the great sages of the heavenly planet began to smile. This smiling is called Smita. You got it? When we hear also, we smile. Right? Because Krishna hiding behind Balaram, because Jarati is chasing. He is smiling. This is called Smita. Now, smiling in which the teeth is slightly visible, just like this, slightly visible, is called Hasita. Wow. One day, Abhimanyu, the so-called husband of Radharani, was returning home. At that time, he could not see Krishna, and he could not see that Krishna was there in his house. He could not see Krishna was there in his house. Krishna immediately changed his dress and look exactly like Abhimanyu. Okay, so he immediately changed his dress and he looked like Abhimanyu and approached Abhimanyu's mother, Jatila. Okay, addressing her thus, she said, "My dear mother, I am your real son Abhimanyu, but just see, Krishna," pointing the real Krishna, real Abhimanyu, said, "Now look at this, dressed up like me, he's coming before you." Jatila, the mother of Abhimanyu, immediately believed that the Krishna was her own son and thus became very angry of her real son who was coming home. She began to drive away her real son and was crying, "Mother, mother, what are you doing?" Seeing this incident, all the girlfriends of Radharani who were present there began to smile. The portion of their teeth were visible. This is an instance of Hasita smiling so lightly with the little teeth can be seen. How? Radharani, "Oh, see, what you do?" That means is Hasita. Now, thinking about that, just now we say Smita. In Malay, we call senyum sinis, right? Also, there's a sinister laugh, all right? There's a sinister laugh, all right? That's different. Okay, now, what is Vihasita? When the teeth are distinctly visible in a smile, that's called Vihasita. Ha ha, like this. 36 pallam kachi sirikkirathu. Give a big smile like that. Now, one day, when Krishna was engaged in stealing butter and yogurt from the house of Jatila, he assured his friends, "My dear friends, I know this old lady is not sleeping very profoundly because she's breathing very deeply. That means she's not properly sleeping. It's now, no, sorry. Now, I know this old lady is now sleeping very profoundly. That means she went into deep sleep because she's breathing very deeply. Let us silently steal the butter and yogurt without making any disturbance." But the old lady Jatila was not sleeping. So she could not contain her smiling. So she could not contain, and her teeth immediately became distinctly visible. This is an instance of Vihasita. She was like laughing. With laughing, you're showing all the teeth. This is called Vihasita. Avahasita. That means in the state of smiling when the nose becomes puffed and the eyes squint. The smiling is called Avahasita. Wow. When we smile, the nose becomes puffed. And the eyes start to squint. The eyes squint, and the smile called Havasita. What is the example? Once, early in the morning, when Krishna returned home, after performing his rasa dance, Mother Yasoda looked upon Krishna's face and addressed him as this, "My dear son, why do your eye look like that you have smeared with some oxide?" What does it mean? Sometimes when pepper, when you like, I mean, now you're not doing it, but you remember when those days when you cut onion, your eyes will become like squint, right? Because it's like your eyes start burning. All right? So ask, why do your eye look like has been smeared by some oxide? Have you dressed yourself with blue garments of Baladev? When Mother Yashoda was addressing Krishna in that way, a girlfriend who was nearby began to smile with puffed nose and squinting eyes. It's a kind, not like this. Like hiding and smiling. Wow. This is an instance of Avahasita smile. The gopi knew that Krishna had been enjoying the rasa dance with and Mother Yasoda could not detect a son activity in a understand how. He had become covered with gopis makeup. He was covered with gopis makeup, and the smiling was Avahasita's feature. How do this thing? Because Rupa Goswami was the person he went from there, and he has got a real sight. Anyway, when tears from the eyes are added to the smiling at the shoulder, okay, when the tears from the eyes are added, okay, that means the eyes start tearing, and added to the smiling, and the shoulder are shaking, like this. Like some people like to laugh like that. The smile is called apahasita. Example, when child Krishna was dancing in response to the singing of old maid servant Jarati. All right, the old maid servant. Narada was astonished. The supreme person of Godhead who controls all the movement of the great demigods like Brahma was now dancing to the indication of old maid servant. Seeing this fun, Narada also began to dance. And his shoulder trembled and his eyes moved. Due to the smiling, his teeth also became visible. On that account, the glaring effulgence of his teeth, the clouds were also sky turned silver. All right. Then, when smiling person, okay, can you think anyone who smile like this? Right? Do you know anyone who do like this? When the tears from the eyes is added and smiling and the shoulders are shaking. Right? Okay, next time, let's be very observant. When you see people smile, you know what smile is that. Now, when a smiling person claps his hand, clap his hand, and lips in the air, jump, the smiling expression changes into atihasita, or overwhelming laughter. An example of atihasita was manifest in the following incident. Krishna was addressed Jarati, thus, "My dear good woman, the skin of your face is now slackened, and so your face exactly resembles a monkey's." All right, resembles a monkey's. Right? See, we also start laughing. Huh? So Krishna addressed Jarati. All right, "My dear good woman, the skin of your face is now slackened, and so your face look exactly resembles of a monkey. In such, the kings of monkeys, Bali Mukha, has selected you as his worthy wife." While Krishna was teasing Jarati in this way, she replied that she was certainly aware of the fact and the kings of the monkeys were trying to marry her. But she had already taken shelter of Krishna, the killer of many powerful demons. Therefore, she had already decided to marry Krishna instead of king. So, she had already decided to marry Krishna instead of the king of the monkeys. Are you following me? On hearing this sarcastic reply by a talkative Jarati, all the cowherd began to laugh very loudly and clap. All laugh very loudly and clap their hands. This laughter is accompanied by clapping the hands, is called Ati Hasita. Did you follow what I say? Do you understand? Are you following? Thumbs up.
Yes.
All right. Yes, great. So now you see. Why? So Krishna is making fun of that old gopi. So your face look like a monkey, and the king of monkey going to marry you. And she said, no. I am not going to marry the king of monkey because I taken shelter. I want to marry you, Krishna. Are you going to be my husband? So the way that she said it, all the gopis were all standing beside, laughter. Just imagine this kind of light moment you can experience once we go back home, back to Goloka Vrindavan. Sometimes there's the indirect sarcastic remark, which also create atihasita, clapping and laughing. An example of such remark was statement which was made by one of the cowherd girls to Kutila, the daughter of Jatila, the sister of Abhimanyu, right? The so-called husband of Radharani. Indirectly, Kutila was insulted by the following statement. "My dear Kutila, daughter of Jatila, your breasts are as long as string beans, All right. They made fun of her. They say, my dear Kutila, daughter of Jatila, your breasts are as long as string beans. All right. They say, simply dry and long. Your nose is so gorgeous that it defies the beauty of the nose of a frog. All right. Defies the nose of a frog. And your eyes are more beautiful than the eyes of a dog's. Your lips defy flaming cinders of the fire. And your abdomen is beautiful as a big drum. Therefore, my dear beautiful Kutila, you are the most beautiful of all cowherd girls of Vrindavan. And because of your extraordinary beauty, I think you must be beyond the attraction of the sweet blowing of Krishna's flute. Right? So this is some of the sarcastic way of this thing that creates kind of laugh. They laugh. Okay. Now, all right. So with this, we are done with the first part. Esak iti Sri Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Uttara Vibhage Hasya Bhakti Rasa Nirupane Adbhuta Bhakti Rasa Lahari Pratama. Right? Now we are coming to the second one. Astonishment and chivalry. All right. So this one, I think it's already 10:42. It's going to take it's going to take. All right. So never mind. The 42, we're going to collect. We continue tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow we do 46. That's my book. Oh, okay. Astonishment and chivalry. Please mark your book 46. So today we did 45, 44, 45, right? Astonishment and chivalry. P1. There's another 5 more chapters to go. Most probably we can complete. Today is what day? Wednesday, right? Then most likely we can finish it by.
Thursday, Prabhu.
Oh, today is Thursday. All right. So let's see. Right. So today is 45 and 46. No, we did what chapter today? 44 and 45. 46. Going to continue tomorrow. All right. So any questions? Any discussion or any takeaway? Sharmila Gunasegaran Mataji, how are you? How do you feel looking at Krishna's beautiful pastime? I think she should be working by now. She's listening. Anyone want to share anything? Any takeaway? Saki Mataji? Sadguna, Devi Mataji, Sudha Sindhu Mataji, Saraswati Karpiya Mataji, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu. Can you see the way they define the laughter? Every part of activity in full Krishna consciousness gives so much of pleasure. Every act, a single smile, it's divided into 6 varieties, right? 7 varieties. Smile, we show little teeth and show the all their teeth. Then smile by eyes switch this thing, and smile with the smile, but the eyes become small. Okay, then your cheek will start to distinct. Then another one is laughter by clapping. Another one is laughter by clapping and jumping, crying, tears. Wow, what a beautiful thing. Nectar of Devotion is amazing book, right? So those who have just joined, like Sharmila Gunasegaran or Mataji, and like those who I think I'm not sure who have, but Sudha Sindhu Mataji, yes, also halfway. So go back to Nectar of Devotion on my YouTube video from first book, right? Chapter 1. Then you read along with the book and go back and relish, because we went deep into the studies of Nectar of Devotion and we try to go study as much as we can, right? So far, Sadguna Mataji, how many videos we have done in Nectar of Devotion? We started in March, right? because she was keeping the track. Huh?
Prabhu, let me see and I'll inform you tomorrow. I'm outside now.
Okay. No, that day you saw, right? That day you're partying, then.
So,
Okay, no problem. So I think it's somewhere around February or March. Wow. We are doing a 9 months detailed studies of Nectar of Devotion. And once you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, my God, one book, don't know how long we're going to take. Formerly, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu was one of the pioneers who joined me in a Gita discussion. I think on Srimad Bhagavatam, one book of Srimad Bhagavatam took us more than a year. And that also we didn't complete, right? Because I passed
yeah,
the baton to...
yeah,
Yeah?
I'll see and inform you, Prabhu.
Can, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
At the moment, yeah, I'm outside with my friend, Prabhu, attending
Okay.
some
All right.
function.
Sure.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All right. So with that, we end the session here today. So meet again tomorrow. All right. Till then, have a beautiful day. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhu bevacha. Patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day.